Hey everybody, it's Tafony here once again. Hope you're doing well. Today I am rambling about the After Later audio stairs. So this is going to be a bit of a weird episode. I'll do some housekeeping about the housekeeping first. I want to standardize the housekeeping in a way that I don't need to do it and miss things in every video. However, so they're going to move to the description at some point in the near future. However, the stairs, I need to sort of give even more housekeeping on this one because, well, let's do the normal ones first. So I purchased this one new from our local dealer here in Vancouver. I'm not affiliated with them. They didn't send it to me or anything like that. I just thought a analog ladder filter was a crazy deal at the price that they are selling it at, especially for a stereo one, because I was looking for a stereo analog filter of sorts. And here arrives the stairs. Now, I've reshot this video 4 times now, and I took time off last night to try and do some research on these stairs, and I couldn't find a manual. I couldn't find a real reason why I'm having issues with it, and I don't know if mine is miscalibrated or I am misusing it or this is the expected outcome or what have you. So don't expect a normal video. Like I say in every video, here's the normal housekeeping. I'm not affiliated with them. I'm not trying to sell it to you, present it to you, assess it for you. I'm just trying to make my video blog in Eurorack and hardware, sequencers, synthesizers. I don't know why I always say sequencers. I have sequencers on the mind all the time. But today we are talking about the stairs. And I'm having a lot of issues with it and getting it right. So I want to talk about those in, this is what rambling about is for, just to ramble about everything for every reason. So first, I'm trying to reorganize the format of these videos a little bit more, but here we are going to throw a wrench in that. Normally I start with a jam. So let's do that. Okay. Yeah, so I know I touched on it a little bit in the pre-ramble, having some weirdness with this, and I want to first talk about what it is a little bit before jumping into the issues I'm having with it, because it's kind of hard to separate the one and two, or the one from the other, I guess. But what it is a 10HP dual analog ladder filter, which I read was based on the Moog filters. However, doesn't seem to be. And again, I am no subtractive synthesis master. I am not even very proficient. But I feel like I'm doing something wrong is part of the issue here. So I want to just talk about where I'm at with it and hopefully get some help. And you know what? Because it's rambling about it, I'm just going to jump into it and say it before anything else. One, it is very, very cheap. I was blown away by the low price, and it was on sale even at the time. Like, you get what you pay for is probably what I'm thinking. However, there's no manual, which is part of what you pay for, I guess. But again, I'm not trying to like come across as like super offended or anything, but I just like another recently in the Ecto Core 2 launching without a manual, like things that need manuals need to launch with the manuals. And I wonder, hopefully the Stairs has a manual, because I know there was another ALA after later audio module that I had that I couldn't find the manual for, but it was like somebody had posted it on Modular Grid, so like maybe it exists, but anyway, I can't find it for the Stairs. Maybe it's just so new it hasn't come out yet. I know an Ecto Core manual is on the way as well. But like, these things need manuals. I just like, there must be some documentation, because I'm going into this, as I always say, I'm shooting from the hip with these. When it comes to the Stairs, I'm shooting from the hip in terms of skill, but really shooting from the hip blind by not having a manual at all. And I'll show you what specifically my issue with it is. If we bring in the sound. Sorry, that's not it. That's it. Why don't we got no sound? So they make a bunch of mentions in the manual of it being glitchy, and I think that's because the resonance bias. Hold on, sorry. So here in the intro, we were listening to a saw wave into the Happy Nerding Super Sawtor, my new best friend, and then out of that into the Stairs for a 2-pole ladder filter for simplicity. Maybe I'll throw in 4-pole just for fun right now, and then into a VCA. And I'll show you. Here we go. Let's just start talking. So here's the straight up saw wave, and a lot of mention is made on the store page that they have of the ability to glitch this, in that you can starve the resonance frequency of bias. And I'll mention that this feels a little backwards to me, and I think like if I want to, like, you're starving it of bias, so you turn it down, and I get that makes sense, but I also sort of feel like the bias effect I'm turning up. So anyway, this is just a little backwards in my mind, but it makes sense too. So you can use the bias as a crude VCA because it mutes it completely when you turn it down like that. And I was doing that a little bit in the demo. We'll see if I include that before or after this part in the editing. But there's also a level control, and this is, I think, where I'm having issues, because so here, we're going to take our VCA out. We're just going to hear the whole thing. And you know, maybe we'll just hear a drone for a moment. So there, you have your sawtooth. You have your ramp wave, rather. Let's go into sawtooth. Not that it's much different, but I'll go down an octave so it's less shrill. And then, so I have the resonance off and the level all the way up. If you turn the level down, like obviously it changes the final output level. And then if I sweep it, it sweeps not quite all the way. And if I turn it up, it also doesn't cut it off all the way, which is bizarre. But okay, so I'm thinking maybe the way I need to, again, if there was just a manual, please, the manual, I need something. If I turn it off all the way, I'm thinking maybe this is how we calibrate it of sorts. So I turn my level all the way so that the frequency cutoff can cut it off completely. Okay, now we turn it up. Now it's quite quiet, so I'll turn it up on the mixer side. But then the resonance is like self-oscillating here, and I can't hear my signal at all. So we turn the level up. Okay, so my original issue, I had level all the way up, completely cranked. The frequency cutoff isn't cutting the entire thing off. Let's go back to 2-pole for simplicity. Okay, it's even more. Now, this attenuverter for cutoff. Okay, so this is normal in some way. So, okay, maybe this is what's causing it to open a bit. Yeah, okay, so let's set this to noon. There's a little bit bleeding through, but that's all right. Maybe we'll turn down the level here. Maybe that's how you, like, calibrate it. Because my issue I was having yesterday was not having resonance at full. Like, it feels like the resonance is a little off here. Like, my experience with filters so far has been that when you get past, like, noon, you're really going into self-oscillating territory. And this, I can absolutely dime it. And it's not very, well, it gets resonant enough, for sure. But, like, this is not self-oscillating. Maybe a little bit. So, okay. That's where I was at yesterday, but I came back to this today, and I am, I watched the video. There's a Robots Are Red video on it, and they had the levels sort of jumping around in the video, but never maxed. So I thought, okay, maybe this is where this one needs to be. Because now, why is this? In my mind, driving it more would make the resonance more squelchy, right? But I don't know if this is after or what, or mine's bleeding somewhere behind the board. So if we turn this level down a little bit, bias is absolutely cranked, and it's a attenuverter, which I assume is normal. Although I'm not totally sure. We'll just crank it anyway, just to make sure that there's nothing going on with the bias, or on the bias front. So now, with the level down a little bit, I got a lot more resonance. But then, when I turn the resonance down, I just lose my signal completely. And again, if there was a manual, I need a manual. Please. Okay, but now I'm self-oscillating in here. I don't know. I don't get it. Okay. So I want to... I don't know. I don't know where to land. And if there was just a manual, where could I land? Where should I land? Is there an attenuverter on the back here? Sorry. Because I was asking the Europals about it in the group chat, and they were suggesting that there might be a trim pot on the back that needs to be adjusted. And I don't see any trim pots on the back. So, I don't get it. What am I missing? And I wonder if people in the comments are going to say that that is how ladder filters are, but I just don't remember any lack of resonance on the Moog one that this is supposed to be based off of. Or maybe mine's just defective? Anyway, again, this is just a video blog, so we were able to use it for nice jam in the beginning, but these issues are really bizarre. Like, at full cranked, the resonance disappears. And then if I starve it of a little level, the resonance suddenly gets insane. Is there, like, a compressor down the line that, like, isn't allowing those other peaks to work? And again, I lose all my signal in this form, though, if you don't have the resonance cranked. So is the level knob on there because it needs to be a juggling act between the two? I don't know. Let's bring in some super saw-ness and actually demo this thing. So the level's going to have to go up. Maybe it's just incredibly touchy on the input? I don't know. So 2 pull. Let's sweep our super saw. Level's going all the way up. And it sounds good. See, the resonance I'm actually getting more today, which also concerns me, because last night I was trying to do this and I was like, where's all the resonance? I want more resonance than completely cranked. I don't know. Unpredictable. That is 2 pull. This is 4 pull. More resonance. But again, this sweep, my resonance is completely cranked. Anyway, I feel like there's something up with mine. So let's do bandpass. And it's funny, the webpage says the bandpass and high pass are sort of unpredictable and difficult to use, maybe? That might be my words, but it doesn't feel any more predictable than the other ones, right? Maybe that's in stereo mode? Okay, this high pass, I can't even cut it off. If we turn down the level, can I cut it off? No. If we turn down the bias, see, I don't know. Anyway, I'm sorry. I tried to make this video like 4 different times, and I'm just like, I'm struggling to do it. I do want to show. So there's a bias circuit, which is sort of one, I think, maybe the cause of some of our issues. This sounds really nice. You can starve the resonance circuit of voltage or amplitude, or both. And it can act as a crude VCA, which sounds really good. Bias in. That just sounds really good to me. The other issue I was having yesterday is when the signal is absent, this thing feeds back like crazy. And why is that? Because it barely self-oscillates when a signal is present. But then when you lose the signals, it's like squelching. So I'm sort of thinking mine's busted in some way, but which makes it tough because, like, am I gonna ramble about anyway, this is what I was going back and forth last night on. I was like, do you make an episode about something that's not working? Well, yeah, because it's not a product demo, right? The videos aren't to sell it to you. I just want to talk about where I'm at. And I also hope that someone is probably screaming and pulling their hair out saying, no, you just need to not use super saws with a ladder filter or something. And to that point, let's just try a triangle wave. Again, here, it's not very resonant with signal present, right? But then when you take out the signal, it's... Why is that? Anyway, I don't get it. I don't get it. So these are also normaled. I think in series you can run it. Let's try and do this. I can get more resonance this way. You want an 8-pole? Anyway, it sounds really nice at moments, but it's so unpredictable. Anyway, like, super affordable module, super exciting, but maybe mine is just not right. So I do want to show, we're here, should do a stereo filter patch, because that's probably, well, that's why I was looking at this one anyway. So let's do that. I can't use a VCA before again because of that weird feedback issue. But we'll take our second output out here. And the other weird thing, okay, is this trim pot is for only the left side, which allows you to do some interesting phasing, pull, stereo goodness stuff, right? Also, if you switch into another output, you can, sorry, I'm not sending y'all the both signals. Let's put that in there so you can actually hear. So just to give it a little bit of cutoff and stereo juiciness. And anyway, let's go back into 4-pole mode on the same two. But you get frequency cutoff control, which is set by this attenuverter to the 1. Or maybe it's affecting both. Yeah. But it says left freak. And manual. If there was a manual, you could just check it out in the manual. See, but again, there's some. This sounds really good. Let's try the bias. Does the bias apply to both? Yeah, it does. Okay, let's try and mult our signal before to see if that makes any difference too. A little louder because I'm not using the super Sator at all. Let's put them in. Yeah, that doesn't change anything. That's okay. Must be internally malted. I don't know, but then there's moments where it sounds so good. So anyway, I'm here to ramble about, I'm here to make the video blog, and Stairs has potential. But I feel like if I can just get some explanation through a manual, that we would learn what to do with it. Because what is happening? Again, using this bias as like a low pass gate, very, very West Coast. Anyway, help me with my stairs, please. If you all have any thoughts in the comments, let me know. I'm Tafony. Sorry, this is probably the worst rambling about episode, but you know what? This is what we're here to do as part of the community. It's just share my thoughts, my ramblings, my experiences with this filter. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I'll talk to you soon.